miss Fortnite Prime? Yeah, I mean, we all miss the prime of any games we love. Fortnite for sure. Be good to see the Band of Bros back on Fortnite. Yeah, I mean,
Fortnite
speaking
is
of
awesome
Nep,
right now.
I wonder if people have been clicking their build buttons at random times. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Apparently, that's exactly what happens. Is people don't know how to take cover, don't know how to intelligently use buildings and walls to their advantage, and just get blasted endlessly. So I could see it being fun. You got to position yourself a little bit better. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, again, the interactions, the views, the replies, it's all amazing. It's all amazing, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't feel the when I see videos like this, like basically whenever I see FIFA videos, I just get sad. And not sad because I miss it. Sad because of exactly like Nep's reaction. I mean, and this is again nothing to do with Nep. It's more the where Ultimate Team is nowadays. Like all this is you're just literally gambling to try and get one good thing out of this. 99.9% of the time you don't get anything good, and then you spend so much time grinding to get something good. When you get something good, you take it into gameplay and it's shit in gameplay as well. So it's just this for me, I just feel like the consumption of Ultimate Team nowadays is like a degen gambling addiction. And again, like I said, that makes me sad because it's me out on the outside looking in. I'm not saying that this is how everybody should feel that plays FIFA. That's how everybody should feel that creates content on FIFA. I'm saying I'm sad because that's how I think. And I don't know what in the last 6 months has switched my brain. I mean, we almost quit FIFA 21 last year, honestly, around Team of the Year as well. And I just trudged along infinitely as well. But something has changed in my brain where I just can't get past the fact that this is just meaningless. Which is crazy again, because on the outside look, you could look at me grinding Elden Ring and be like, well, dude, what you're doing on Elden Ring is meaningless. Or the 15 hours I spent trying to beat the Porsche Cup on Gran Turismo, well, that's meaningless, dude. So I get it. A lot of what I say ends up being hypocritical in a way, because you can just retort to what I say about what I say right back at me about whatever game I'm playing. I get it, totally. See, the problem is, chat, okay, you know how we're saying, like, oh, I am relatively excited to go back to FIFA 23 Ultimate Team if and when it comes out, etc., etc. But what's to stop the feeling of creeping back in after 1 or 2 months anyways, right? And that's kind of what I want to try and avoid for next year. I think we're going to do a poor man road to glory. Obviously, not a dime spent on FIFA points. We're going to try and show you guys how to try and enjoy this game in a responsible way without dumping your money into the game or your time, infinite time into the game. So I think the second part of it is probably doing the grind 2 to 3 hours a day max and not much more than that. And that should benefit me in 2 ways. First of all, it shows you guys how to grind a game for 2 to 3 hours a day and not having to waste your whole life on FIFA to try and succeed. And also, I hope it won't burn me out. That's the dream that I have, is that I wake up daily excited for gameplay. I still to this day wake up excited at the idea of grinding Ultimate Team, but then you take that excitement into gameplay and it's immediately ruined. So that's what I want to try and harbor or nurture is keeping the love for actual gameplay alive. I do not want to go back to what we've been doing for the last 8 or 9 years, is hate gameplay and then just be a menu streamer. I don't fucking want to be a menu streamer. I don't want to be a menu streamer, dude. I've always liked competitive, skill-based gameplay. I don't want to just be stuck in the menus, and we've done it for so many years with the bronze pack method and League SBC method and this, that, and the other. I'm just over it. I'm happy to do that stuff, but I don't want it to be the 95% of what I do on FIFA. I find that just to be and it's almost like EA have built the game into a menu game as opposed to into an actual gameplay game. And I really hate that, chat. I really do. It needs to be 50-50, gameplay feeding the urge to grind menus. Well, and this is what I find crazy, Rowcastle, because a lot of people are like, oh, but if you make gameplay good, so you make gameplay good, and then people won't be spending time on the menus and won't be spending money. I disagree. based off of what Rocastle said is kind of the thought process I have. If you make gameplay good, someone's going to go into gameplay with whatever team they have a crazy good experience, win or lose, and then probably want to go back to the menus and grind, or maybe spend FIFA points to try and improve their team, or get the better version of a certain player they have in their team that they like to try and get better results. I feel like good gameplay, good servers, a good meta that is changing as well, not a meta that's just the same for 12 months straight, but a meta that they're constantly tweaking and changing and improving and shifting, will inspire people more and more to actually spend money on the game or grind menus or spend more time on the game. And for some reason, I think EA thinks that if gameplay is good or the servers are good, people will spend less time in the menus and ergo spend less money on FIFA points, which I don't see as being correct. I had a sick team after 2 weeks without money spent. See, but again, that's a different discussion, Bergie, and that's something that I agree with as well as being a problem, just like Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo fundamentally is an amazing game in terms of the way you can upgrade cars, the racing itself, the way races are structured is fantastic. But they made it too casual friendly, dude. You win one race and you've got a super rare, impossible to get car, which was never a thing in Gran Turismo. You'd have to grind. And I think Ultimate Team is the same. I think now more than ever, it's so easy to build up those coins to get the players that are like the 98%. You might not in a week or two be able to get a mid-Hullet at the start of the game, or in a week or two be able to get a mid-Cruyff, but you'll be able to get pretty much everything all the way up until that. And again, I don't know where the happy balance is, because it's too easy to get a good team and then you're kind of over it, you know? And I do think that's another issue with games like Gran Turismo and Ultimate Team, is they're making it too easy. But how do you balance that out with holding down the big money spenders? Because if you make it really hard to build up coins and build up a good team and get a good player and stuff like that, then the only ones that are going to be running around, the game will basically be even more pay to win. Because the only people that will have the good players and be able to complete the good SBCs are the pay to win guys. So it'll be like 95% of us that have you got a Heung-min Son after a couple of weeks, you got yourself a Conte after the first month, and everybody kind of just has basic teams, and then you've got a couple of the rich guys with just all icons that, at the end of the day, icons and great teams don't win you games, but they sure as fuck make it 10 times easier. And so how do you avoid that, right? How do you avoid having the game be way too easy, where everybody gets a great team within a week or two, versus how do you avoid having it where nobody can get anything good and only the rich guys get something good? And yeah, it's just shit. And Gran Turismo is the same thing, man. I love the essence of Gran Turismo, but after 9 days of playing the game, I beat the game. In terms of I had everything. Gran Turismo used to be about you come up in the racing world slowly but surely, and you grind to get a new transmission for your car, and then you grind to get brakes, and then you grind maybe enough money to buy a used Civic for another race. And Gran Turismo, you get third place in a race, and you've got a $1 million Mustang Boss 402 or 420. Why is every game that come out cater to these casuals? And I feel like what they did with Gran Turismo is what they made obnoxiously hard is the licensing and some of the long form races, which again, I don't mind. But every part of Gran Turismo should be a grind, man. You should feel a reward of going to buy or winning a Integra Type R. Not just, okay, it's another one of my 80 super rare Acuras now that I have. That's stupid. The whole crazy thing is it's easy. There's a lot of casuals who think it's too hard and don't understand how to build up coins a good team. But the thing is, Giant, those casuals that don't understand how to build up coins and get a good team like that spend money on FIFA points. I know firsthand. My son's best friend and his dad genuinely play the game maybe for 1 or 2 hours a week and spend hundreds of dollars a month on Ultimate Team purely because of that. They load in, there's a new promo going on, they have no good players, they have nothing in their club. They decide to throw on, $50 or whatever for packs. And they justify it the way we used to justify it as well, like their collection cards. And extrapolate that across tens of millions of casuals, and you have how EA makes billions a year on FIFA points. It's not content creators or a couple of the hardcore guys that spend 10 grand each on FIFA points. It's the casuals that I just mentioned. That across tens of millions of casuals, dads, kids across the world is how EA makes their billions a year. in microtransactions. It's not going to change. My hope next year is that if it's cross-platform, at least if I can play on PC, the gameplay should feel smoother and be smoother. That's one positive. Also, only playing a couple hours a day, I think, will be a good thing, and doing a Poor Man Road to Glory. I think all three of those things should give us more enjoyment, but who knows, man? Video games nowadays are built like social media platforms are. The mindless scrolling of TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, they've just taken that formula and applied it to video games. Phone games as well, mindless gaming, mindless easy gaming, mindless money spending, and it's just translated over to video games, which is why I love Tarkov and Formula 1 and Apex Legends. Although Apex Legends has some of its money-hungry stands, and it is still an EA Sports game in some ways, owned game, so is F1. At least those two games have a skill gap, man, and Elden Ring and games like that. That's why I love these types of games. I really do. See, the problem is, right, and then we talked about this yesterday before even going in on this, and I really don't want to cover this too much because we talked about this for about 20 minutes yesterday, but this puts a up precedent on speech in general and on comedians in general. Like, what Will Smith did here is almost give hecklers a pass to now go on to stage and try and assault comedians if they don't like what they're saying. If you don't like what someone is saying, remove yourself from that situation. The extrapolation effect of this now, and that is probably not the right word, but we move. The domino effect of this now is people are going to start assaulting people as soon as they start not hearing things they like. This is just going to snowball into bigger and bigger issues of people just assaulting people now because they don't like the things that people are saying. If you don't like what someone's saying, just remove yourself from the situation. And what I will say is the lack of repercussion and the lack of actual critique that Will Smith got is really disturbing. But in a comedic standpoint, nothing should result in physical assault, period. And I just don't like that because it's Will Smith or because it's a comedian, because Chris Rock maybe has a track record of shocking people, that people are okay with it. I don't like that. I understand, but you defend the honor of your family and your wife by having class and removing yourself from the situation. Not assaulting someone on live TV and then making a huge scene in front of the live cameras, screaming at him, making everyone around you feel so scared and up about it. You just remove yourself from the situation. Now, there may be some things going on with Will Smith. I mean, mentally, maybe he's going through a really tough time. I know that the internet, I know full well the internet can be a insane place. Still to this day, I get the same abuse that I'm sure you guys would know about. The internet and people on the internet are horrible. So I can understand that maybe mentally he's not totally all there, and maybe he's just, this set him over the edge. I get that. But he's got to just, Will Smith for far too long has tried to be that social media guy. And with everything that's going on with him, he's constantly reading all these comments on a daily basis, and then it results in this. Nobody can relate to how he feels. That's disrespectful to me and anybody else that's had situations happen in their life. Absolutely, I can, and many people can relate to what he's going through. I mean, I like that he's apologizing and making amends. That's good. What is more concerning for me is not even the initial slap and what's happened, but the way the public was in so much support of it is pretty shocking. I feel like it's very heat of the moment thing is how I see it. I get it, man. I get it. But dude, you guys, I want you to understand that everybody here has had a heat of the moment situation, whether they've been younger, maybe you've punched a brother, you've been older, you've raged, you've smashed a controller, you've said a word, whatever the case may be. Everyone has had a heat of the moment thing. I get it. I get it. We've all been there. But you have to be able to look back and be like, okay, this is fucked. You can't hide behind these ups and make excuses for it and defend it. Did I defend it once? No, because it's indefendable. It's just a word. It's a thing. It's awful. It's disgraceful, period. When you up, you have to own it. Now, again, I understand Will Smith, to the most part, has owned it, which is good. But we should at least discuss this situation because, more importantly, the reason why we should discuss this situation is because how many people support this and defend this. That's the issue. The man himself who did this isn't defending it. Will Smith isn't defending it. One of the most embarrassing things for me as well, 5, 6, 7 years ago, is the people that were defending what I did. Defend my character, defend me as in a person, and you know I'm not a bad person, that's one thing. But writing off what I did and defending a use word is horrible. I'm sure what should be shocking to Will is he's saying he's up, and so many people are supporting him. Don't defend this. I appreciate you defending my character and wanting to defend me as a person, but defending my action is not. Everyone should be able to recover and make amends. What's more concerning for me is the amount of people that are defending and supporting this.
Пацаны, да он там совсем ёбу дал.
He does.
Валить надо его.
Cav's dead.
Killer.
He's dead. Wasn't. No! Oh my god. That is probably one of the rarest things in the entire game. Nah. Nah. Nah, dude. Oh my god. I didn't know that was still available even. That's 2. What? Oh my god. How many headshots have we had this run? Won't mean anything, but I heard walking. There it is. I'm coming for you. Bitch. Hello? Goodbye. Bro.
Служивый!
Someone else here still. Miss me, idiot. Okay. Eat that!